Very good morning to you all. Welcome to the webinar. This is being recorded, so we will put this up on YouTube for people to access later on. Welcome along. If you've never joined a webinar before, my name is Kath and I do a lot of these, but we wanted to start with a real basic introduction into her companion if you've never seen it before. Now, there is a question panel on your Teams login that you've got there, and a chat function, so you can type in a question at any time if you wish. And what I'll do, normally I'll get to those at the end, so we're going to be about half an hour or so just to go through some of the key reports on her companion. As I say, we can follow these up with more webinars later on, but yeah, would welcome any questions as we go through for sure. So let me just make this a full screen. There we go. So what we have to access it in the very first place, so this is kind of assuming you've never seen it before, but you might have well be past this stage. The NMR website, nmr.co.uk, or Herd Companion on its very own, they both have links straight into the site, and this is the page that you should end up at. So the best thing to do is to save a sort of favorite on your browser, so you can just log in again, and usually it will offer you to save your password. So when you get to this stage, this is usually my opening screen, I can just click sign in and I go straight in. If you've never seen it before, we've got this click here option, which is to register for the site, and that takes you to a registration page. She says, there we go. We just need a little tick box in this one. So this is a one-off step, and then it will prompt you for a user code and a password. Now, at this stage, it's probable that you'll need to give us a call. So the NMR number on here gives off a support call. They would love to hear from you. They can then get you up and running very, very easily. We've just got an automatic code and password to set you up, and then that will generate the next step, which is for you to put in your email address. That's normally the username these days. A password that's a bit more secure, of your own choosing, and then you're away, and all of your NMR data will be on Her Companion to view. So just for reference, I'll leave that on the screen just for a little minute so you can write that number down. That is our main NMR customer services number, which includes software support as well. So anything on Her Companion at all, anything on NMR, recording or software, anything you like there, ear tags, whatever, it's all through that one number. Okay, so without further ado, now I'm on the wrong screen. Sorry, bear with me. Let me just redo that one. Down here again. Okay, so we've logged into Her Companion. So say, give us a call if you haven't got this far. And this is the opening screen. So everybody starts off the same way. And we have a little tool here. So this is like an advertising board, really, just to show you a particular feature of the site. So at the moment we've got her performance KPIs. So this is a bit of benchmarking. I'm not going to go through that today, but do have a look. And what I've got today is our demo herd, which is Hartpury University. So they very kindly let us have access to their data from a public forum. So there is a demo herd on Her Companion. It's the same. If you ever want to have a look at what they're doing, by all means click on it and have a browse. You can't break it. There's nothing you can delete on there or put in for their particular herd. But once you've logged into your own, then of course you can actually put data in as well if you want to. So on the other side here, we've got payment test results, milk quality monitor. Now this bit is specifically from your bulk milk results. So as the term suggests, payment test, what your last bulk milk sample was for cell count, for protein, for fat, and for Bactiscan. So those are actual readings as of your last test. In theory, that changes every day because, based on your collection times, of course. So that's a moving feast the whole time. A lot of people come onto Her Companion, have a look at this just to see where we're at for our latest bulk. You can expand on that, and I'm keeping it all quite brief today because I want to show you as much as possible without overwhelming you. But that graphic you can click on, and then it will show you all the previous results as well. So it's all stored quite nicely coming in from NML. A few bulk bits and pieces, and then the rest of it today is based on your milk recording data as well. So If we hover the mouse over these, you'll see different options appear. So it's very much like a sort of typical website. You've got mega menus where you can drill down, just move the mouse down until you find a topic of interest. So as a starting point, if you think, right, I'm on Her Companion, where on earth do I look at first? I would suggest the following. So if we go to iReports, latest recording. So we just need to left click this one. And then we've got like a sub menu of these related reports. So these are all links as well. If you wanted to look at completed lactations for cows in your herd, focus more on cell counts, you can do that straight from here. You don't have to follow this route at all. You can go to anywhere from anywhere. So if you wanted to go straight to disease, you know, all your herd-wide stuff is there. Or if you wanted to put something in, we've got the data entry on that one as well. If at any time you think, oh, where did I start from? Where was that lovely MQM graph? You can click on the logo and that will take you straight back to the start again. As I say, you don't have to go through that route. You don't have to return there in order to move on somewhere else. So it really is very, very flexible. Back on iReports latest recording. As the name suggests, it's a snapshot of your herd at your latest recording. So you can just see the date on here as to when your last recording happened. And this has got a filter in place. So filtered by status milking. So the same for everybody. When you always come into Her Companion, everybody's reports are set up in exactly the same way. Now you can manipulate a lot of things. You can filter out your heart's content, so you find a particular set of cows that meet a particular criteria, but it will always revert back to its original state when you finished, which is quite nice in a way, because then you can start from scratch each time. So status milking is this little M here in this white box. So this is a filter. All of these columns have a filter option, and we can put in different values in there to then draw out the results we need. So for your latest recording results, just like on your production monthly report that you see on paper, but with a whole lot more flexibility and options available. So these are the cow numbers. This is the order in which we appear. So lowest cow number first. We're just looking at cows in milk as of that last recording. And if I go to the bottom, I can see the total number of cows. So this is 185 animals in milk at that March recording. And these are the averages of the milk, fat, protein, and cell count. Page size, so there are limitations on how many animals you're viewing in one hit. So this is a sort of total of 20, but nothing to stop you at all putting in all if you want a great big long list of all of your cell counts, all of your recording data there. And the other thing that you can do as well, using the filters, so you'll see because we've got 20 cows per page, there are, in this one, more than 10 pages worth of data. So rather than having to scroll through trying to find a particular cow, we can do it on here. So if I wanted to look up cow 1137, I mean, she is down there anyway, but I can just type it into this white box. As soon as you stop typing, it will refresh the filter and show you that particular cow's results. So a really quick way, if you want to look up a particular animal, use your line number filter in here. Now, if I just take that out again, do a backspace, it will refresh again as soon as you stop typing, and we're back on the whole herd again. If you wanted to find a dry cow, they are there. It's just we're looking at cows in milk only. So let me remove that one. Again, click in the box, backspace button. You can see we already had a few, but 189 cows now. So this is our total lot. And if I were to look for a dry cow, status D, you can see there's my one and only dry cow. Okay, so there might be another status, because that doesn't add up to 189. I can hear you all shouting at me now. A is for absent. So possibly we've got some absent cows that were expected, but we didn't get a sample for whatever reason. So it might be they're on antibiotics, something along those lines. Okay, so as I say, whatever you type in, you tweak on here, you can go to town and change absolutely anything you like, but apart from the data entry side, of course, that is real, but it will all put itself back together again as you found it when you walk away. The other thing we can do on here is sorting. So where we start off in line number order, it might be that you want to have a look at cell counts maybe. You can just see who the highest cell count cow is at that recording. So if I click on the header, single left click puts it into ascending order. So there's the triangle, tells me which order we're in. If I left click again, we then go into descending order. So now my highest cell count cow is shown clearly at the top. Anything above 500 is shown in bold red, and anything above our threshold of 200 is shown in a sort of paler red. So they just stand out a little bit more. And then, like I say, if you wanted to explore cell counts in more detail, you could go straight to the somatic cell count report here and have a look on that one. Just staying with this report for a minute, we might want to use another filter just to concentrate maybe on, okay, high cell count cows in order, but with a certain days in milk criteria. So DIM, if I hover the mouse over some of these, if you're not sure, it will tell you as an expansion of what they actually mean. Some of them are really obvious anyway. So let's say we wanted to look at anything over 100 days. Now, my filter says put in 100 into here. And again, as soon as I stop typing, it refreshes. No data to display. Don't panic. So this is saying equal to 100. So dead on 100 days. And I haven't got any cows that mean that. That's fine. So the key here, it's all in the key. This little button to the right of the filter allows me to expand on what I said. So rather than equals, I might want greater than or less than. There we go. So now I've got all the cows in descending cell count order that are over 100 days, and there are 136 of those. So very quickly you can get to specific totals. We've got a revised average now of those particular cows. So cell count slightly higher than the overall herd average. And you can have more than one filter. So it might be we want to look at milk yield as well and see, okay, who's over 100 days, but maybe under, let's say, 28 kilos of milk. And again, that's my equal to default. Haven't got anybody dead on 28. Click on and then greater than. There we go. And very quickly we're whittling down to a particular set of animals with particular criteria that are of interest. All of these reports, incidentally, wherever you've got these white filter buttons, give you the same functionality. So it's not just this one. You can go to any report you like and do the same sorting and filtering. If you wanted to then grab that as it sits now with those filters in place, I want that particular list, we can export. So at the top of your table, you can export that exactly as it looks, and it will put it into an Excel spreadsheet, and then you can do even more with it, send it to somebody, that sort of thing. To say, if you were to then walk away, log out of Her Companion, go back in tomorrow, it'll all be set right again. But if you wanted to just tweak all of that and start from scratch, we've got a clear button down here. You can undo. There we go. So that's back on as it was now. The other thing you can do, so changing the sort order, we're still in cell count order. It might be I want to look at lactation number. So there we go, lactation ones and so on. We can also group by. Now this is really powerful. So temporary groups within the herd. Very often we don't have management groups assigned on NMR, on Thor, but there's nothing to stop you having a look at your data in very different aspects with temporary groups on here. So for example, lactation number, all I need to do to group by that is to pick up that heading. So I left click, hold the mouse down, drag that heading up to the blue area. It doesn't have to be across here, well that's what it says to do. Drag a column header here, we can just pop it up to the top and let go. And then you can see we've now got little groups by lactation number, how many cows are in each group, and what the average of each of those groups are. So how well are the first lactation heifers doing compared to the older cows? All sorts of questions you can ask on this one then. We can expand the groups, so the plus button will show me exactly who those 13 cows are. They're in their fourth lactation. And we can also then do two groups if you want to be really clever. So let's say we want to group by lactation number, And within those groups, we want to have a look at cell counts. So if I put this one and group by that as well, and I expand a group, now we've got lactation for animals. There are 13 of those, 10 of which appear in the 0 to 199 category, 1 animal in the mid-range, and 2 animals quite high. And again, you can expand on those, see who they are. If you decided then, again, you could just walk away at this point, come back tomorrow, all good. But if you decided, actually, I want to put this back together again and maybe group by something else, we can just do the reverse. So grab the cells. You don't have to drop it into the same place it came from. It will sort itself out. So if I just drop that there, that puts the cells back again. And I can drag this one. Oops, sorry, let's try that again. And drop it into the table. And then I've got my full list back again. So all sorts of things are possible to group by. Breed, if you've got different breeds in your herd. Permanent management groups, if you've actually got those set up. Cow sire, that's quite a nice one. We can group by all the sires in the herd just to see the sort of ranges there. And another really nice one is the fertility status. So here we have the fertility of each cow, where she currently sits. Is she calved? Is she served? Whatever. If I drag that one up to here, we can then see I've got 12 barren cows, 52 freshly calved, 1 not served, and so on and so on. So really nice ways of looking at your data in so many different aspects. Now that's just one report. So by all means, have a browse and come back to us if there's something you want to see that you're not sure where it is. Or you've got any particular questions on how we do all of this one. There is a user guide as well on paper we can always send out to you if you'd much prefer to go through a little booklet and see yourself. It covers all of these different things. So just to pick on some of the key areas of the site, so this is the latest recording which we found in this section here. So under the production menu, latest recording and all its related reports. Also in the iReports section, we've got action lists. So who is due to serve, due to calve, dry off. I'll just show you one of these. There we go. Now, typical, the herd that I pick, they've got nothing due to dry at the moment. So this is set to cows coming up for drying off in the next 30 days. So very much similar to your paper copies. But of course, with here, we can expand on this. So if I make that 300 and apply, then hopefully we get some cows on our list. There we go. So cows coming up for drying off. We're not due to start drying off here until July, as you can see. So this is the order in which these appear. It's different data sets again in terms of anything that's relevant for this report. So these cows come July will be due to dry off. This is their last milk recording yield. The cell counts for the last 3 recordings up to that point, or up to now essentially. How many high cell counts they've had across their whole lactation. You can spot some high ones in here as well, shown in red. And we've got a threshold adjustable here. So if you wanted to change that 200 as a high cell count, then by all means you can adjust that one here. Again. And then the figures will change accordingly. So anybody over 150 now is just shown in red with a slightly different threshold. So it makes a difference to all of your figures, of course. Mastitis cases, if they've had a case recorded, it'll be shown here as a date. So that can be considered as part of your overall dry cow therapy regime. And then a really crucial figure at the end here, Johne's group. So the Johne status of these particular cows, when it comes to drying off, do we need to factor that in? Absolutely, as far as how we treat the calves going forward. And then maybe cow treatments as well. So everything that you need for your selective dry cow therapy decisions. And again, like the other groupings of reports, I can just jump to cows to calve there. I suspect there won't be much going on there either, no, because it's still set to 30 days. But yeah, similar sort of idea. We can change our parameter, look as far ahead as you like, and see what's going on with those. Now, I mentioned the Johne's, a critical part of Herd Companion. All of your Johne's test results are on here. In the disease monitor, If you're on herd-wise, so this is the quarterly testing of the whole herd, a herd-wise scheme. If you're not, there are different schemes available. So it might be that you're on Johne's 1, 2, 3, or you're just testing once or twice a year. So whichever scheme is appropriate for you, the Johne's results will be on here. If you're new to recording as well, these results will be sent to you as a notification. So when you have your milk recording, as soon as the herd is processed, we send out a text message with the top 10 cell counts and another text message just to alert you that Herd Companion is now updated. So this kind of thing is available. The Johne's, if you happen to be doing a Johne's test at that particular recording, it takes a couple of days after, because we go on and do extra tests over and above the standard recording results. So we will again alert you by text. If you don't receive any of those, please give us a ring as well. It might be that we've got the different mobile, or we just need to configure that if you're brand new. So do let us know, and we can set that up for you. Over time, of course, the more testing you do, the more you find, generally speaking, which is absolutely how it should be. And then we can look at managing it better. We can see right from the word go here, when we first started testing Johne's for this herd, these are your trends over time. So there may not be a lot to see on the graph if you've just started, but as you test, your results will become much more meaningful. So it gives you a nice summary, and then the results of those cows are shown here with, again, all of their history, so all the average test values that they've had. Classification of where they sit, what Johne's category. So this is the order in which they appear as well. So J5s are highlighted at the top. And with all of these things, if you see a blue line number, it's a link into that cow's individual record. So you can always go and have a look. If I wanted to explore 5365, go on that one. And then we've got the animal record. So everything about 5365 for current lactation, certainly, is shown in here. So recording results, little graph to show you your lactation curve, cell count results here. Very useful for things like, what's her rear tag, what's her date of birth, all of that sort of information is available. Event data, last calving date, anything else happened to her before, or since then, sorry. Ancestry, so who is her dam? Her dam is in the herd, because that's another link there. Who is her sire? We've got an ancestry certificate that you can view. Offspring, all that cow. Again, if they've got a calf in the herd, it will show up here. And then lots of lactation information as well. So again, if you're new to recording, this will all grow over time, but we can draw out things like lifetime yield, lifetime daily yield, how much milk per lactation. So there's so much information available to you here really, really quickly. Now, to come out of this one, there's no particular link on this page, so you can just jump again back to where you came from or onto another report. The data entry, I must mention, is this one here. And this is entirely optional, but if you wanted to put your data into NMR, into Herd Companion in real time, as things happen, rather than waiting for the recording where everything's written on a bit of paper or possibly on the diary, it's absolutely available to anybody. Daily event entry is where you start from, and then you just follow the boxes through. So we choose our cow, the date when something happened, and you can go back in time on this, absolutely fine. So you don't have to do it every day. It might be something that happened last month, absolutely fine. It's all working in real time. So as soon as you put it in and you confirm your events, it will update the whole Herd Companion site. And actually, any third parties that receive your data that look at your Herd Companion, with your permissions, of course, they will see that change as well immediately. So it really does, come out the other side as quick as that. If you need any help on Herd Companion in terms of setting up a third party, so allowing your vet access to your data, please give us a ring on that one as well, and we can help you with that. So we choose an event. So what happened to this cow? Was she served? Did she have a PD result? Mastitis cases? Is she now barren? All of the usual things that you can record. So for example, a service. I choose the bull and it knows the most recent bulls that you've been using, or you can add a new one in there. Then I add event. Now with this is real live herd, so I'm not going to do anything here. And if you're on this page for your data, it is live. Any mistakes can, of course, be rectified. No bother at all. But just, yeah, approach with caution if you want to have a play, as it were. So we add event normally, and then we go to event confirmation and confirm events. You don't need to do it one by one. You can confirm when you've done a whole load of events. Absolutely fine. They will then refresh, update the site, and you'll be able to keep a record of what you've done in the events sent. So that is available. But again, give us a call if you need any assistance or advice on there. I'm just going to finish off now, and my half an hour is nearly up, with one more key report, again under iReports, and that's farm assurance. So whether you put the data in yourself or whether your recorder collects it from software or from your farm diary, you know, we will grab that information if it's provided to us, absolutely. And the more information you put in, the better for everybody concerned, really. But there's no, there's no extra charges or anything like that. If you want to give us all your mastitis cases, absolutely fine. It's all part of our service. In here, it's all collated together. So the print button, this one here, it won't try and print straight away. It just goes into a different screen, and it will give you then a really nice total for the year. So just right for your red tractor inspection, how many lameness cases you've had, mastitis, cows that have been culled, what reasons have they been culled for, calf mortality. So it works out all those little steps. Any health information on here that you've put in as well. Few fertility stats, heifers to second lactation, all very useful stuff. It's all put together for you to grab. You can save that again out of the program and email it to somebody. Print it off if you want to. There's a print button here. It's all there for you to use, absolutely. Excuse me. So I hope that's given you a really nice flavour of what Herd Companion can do. There's an awful lot more. I'm going to leave it like that for now. Just come back out of there. I just want to see if you've got any questions. Now we've got a question up here. Events, etc. be transferred over from Uniform. Yes, absolutely. So if you are on Uniform or any other farm software that links straight into NMR, that will go straight into Herd Companion. So on Uniform, we have what's called a live link, and every day it runs an automatic routine. So you don't have to put your data in twice, absolutely not. Uniform will talk to Herd Companion every day and update your data onto here. And it really is instant. So as soon as that link has run, if the data is all correct and validated, it will update your Herd Companion site immediately. So yeah, you can sort of check on things like your Johnes as well, alongside everything that's happening that day, essentially. Okay, any other questions? There is also a hand button if you wanted to raise your hand. Virtually, you can do that, and I can unmute you if you wanted to ask a question. Absolutely fine. Or you can type it in, but if you're all good, that's brilliant. Thank you all very much for listening in. And this is repeated on Tuesday. If you wanted to view it again, I'm doing a Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. Give me a shout for that if you want to. And as with all things, I'll just leave it on the screen, actually. I go back to here. That's our number again. If you've got any questions on Herd Companion, or you want to get in touch with me, by all means, give us a call, and we can help you out. Thank you all very much for listening in. Bye for now.